Greetings. Welcome. My name is Alan Lengel from Deadline Detroit, and we've got pollster Ed Sarpolus. And Ed has done a great job over the years, and we've written a lot of stories about the polls. Welcome, Ed.
Welcome to you and this fine sunny afternoon.
Huh. And so let's get into it. The Free Press just published a poll saying that Trump leads Biden 45 to 41% with a 4% uh, error of margin of error, excuse me, and that there's also, I don't know, at least 14% are undecided. What do you make of that? What's going on? Should people in the Biden camp be worried? Should people in the Trump camp be jubilant? How do you see that?
Well, first of all, this is an example where Trump is leading but not winning. Okay, he's well under 50%. Statistically, they're tied, 14% undecided. It tells me what I'm seeing on the television. Democrats in Michigan are telling people not to vote for Joe Biden. Rashida Tlaib, the mayor of Dearborn, Andy Levin, leading the pack. Other people are saying don't vote for Biden. Democrats are creating these numbers, not Republicans and not Joe Biden. Secondly, there's no campaign in Michigan by Democrats on behalf of Joe Biden. The U.S. candidate, Lisa Slotkin, is not spending time in Black area communities or Arab communities. There's nobody out there working for Biden in areas that they need. So basically, this is self-infliction. When you spill the milk, you're not going to get it back. You've got the age, fine, deal with it. Go on and talk about things what people want to talk about. You know, it's like, be a hypochondriac. Oh my God, I got another illness. Okay. Well, I got an illness too, but does I focus on it anymore? No, I don't. I went out and ran 5 miles today.
and so how damaging is this the idea of the primary, of not voting in the primary? Is that something fatal for Joe Biden? Is it just a temporary thing to say, hey, we're just a signal we're not happy with your policies, with the Israel war, we're not happy that you're too old, or what is it that's...
Well, if Hillary beat Bernie, ended up winning the nomination against Bernie Sanders, okay? Al Gore ended up, well, the point being is that this is a temporary thing only if Democrats make it temporary, okay? You got to focus on the future. When you win campaigns, it's about the future, what you've done for me, what you're going to do to me, and looking positively forward. So they can solve this very quickly. All they have to do is get more visibility of Biden on the road. Media is not even covering Joe Biden. He is on TV every day on C-SPAN, but the regular media is only covering Donald Trump. No one's covering Joe Biden. He's going to have to make it. Whitmer's got to spend time and be active. At least it's not have to be active. They got to get him here in the state talking about what's the difference. The bottom line, they're still not convinced Biden's going to run. So bottom line, Biden has to say, if he's running, I'm running. Stop talking about it. I'm your candidate. And on the third thing, why is Biden raising more money than Trump in this last quarter if everybody doesn't want him as Democrat? He's raising a ton of money. This tells you the fact is that Biden is prepared. If the Democrats say he's our candidate, he's the best that we have. Bottom line, once it's shown the fact that Biden is the only choice, that's what's going to happen. On the Arab vote, half the Arab vote is going to vote Republican anyways, even if Biden was leading by 20 points. Not all Arabs are Democrats, okay? And the rest are going to sit home, because why would an Arab American want to vote for Trump who wants to send Muslims back home to the Mideast? And why do blacks want to vote for Trump when they're going to send them back to Africa? Okay, I mean, so the bottom line is the fact, is there things he has to work on? Yes. But focus on what you're going to do in the next 4 years, what your accomplishments are, and now what you're going to deal with today. That's how you win. I've been doing this for 52 years.
Is Trump the best? I mean, a lot of people see Trump as the best hope for Biden. If Nikki Haley were to somehow, things were to change, you think she would do better against Biden? Or
yes, the reason being, because one, she's female. There's a tendency in the United States of more female supporting the vote. She's young and energetic, but that's because the fact that Kamala Harris is not being effectively being used to take on Nikki Haley. So the bottom line is, yes, can Haley beat Biden? The polls suggest that. But the point being is, we're not talking about issues. Right now, there's no discussion about issues amongst voters. It's all about age. Every time you turn around, it's an age issue. It's just like, what about, you're not going to vote for Biden because he's old or young. What's he going to do for you? What's he accomplished? They're not talking about the issues.
The Israel vote. I think in terms of the younger vote, the progressives in the party are really going hard on Biden. Yet, I think it's pretty much understood that things would be more tilted if Trump were president, more tilted toward Israel and less of a balance in terms of trying to make peace and a two-state solution. Um, how significant is the Israel issue, the
Well, the
Israel-Gaza?
point being the fact it's in the low to middle single digits in polling. It's no longer back in double digit as it was the first time when I did your show,
Uh-huh.
when we got back in October. Secondly, Biden has to get and start visibly talking about this issue. Yeah, he's not pacifying the Netanyahu. He doesn't talk about what he's doing behind the scenes on trying to get the two-state system.
Mhm.
He's got to be much more aggressive visibly. The problem is the young people only watch TikTok. They don't watch the news. They don't know what he's doing. They don't know
Right.
how he's confronting Netanyahu. So that's why he's on. It's why he's on TikTok and Instagram now. The young people don't listen to the news. They have no. They don't understand history. They don't know what's going on. So bottom line, Biden, get out there, start stumping around. The major media has to start carrying you, and if you don't, they won't. You're going to have to start buying ads to show that you are trying to solve the problem on the Gaza Palestine. Because right now, without Biden, there would be no discussion about Palestine. There'd be no aid. There's no two-state system. Remember, every Arab community wants the United States to take the lead on this.
Mhm.
There's nobody from Egypt to Arab community wants to do anything to help stop Hamas and stop the battles in the Gaza Strip. No one. You're Jewish, right, Alan? Okay, you're covering probably more than anybody else. Where is anybody in the Arab community want to do anything to help the Hamas and Palestinians and God? Nobody other than Biden.
And let me ask you about Kamala Harris. Is she a plus or a negative on the ticket at this point? And what's her role in this election at this point?
Well, the bottom line, the vice president only counts 0.8% of any vote in an election
Wow.
day. The bottom line, can she be more effectively using it? She can be much more visible on taking on Nikki Haley and talking to women about the issues.
Hmm.
Okay. She's also got to get much more stronger in her speech. She's sometimes too soft. Okay.
Hmm.
She's got, remember, she is a fighter. She did very well in California. So they can
Yeah.
use her more. They are using her more. But the bigger problem is since the regular media is not covering Biden, they're going to have to get Biden much more visible out there to show that he is working, he's viable, and he can't run a basement campaign like he did 4 years ago. He's going to have to be more visible. And one state he has to be more visible is Michigan. How many times has he been in Michigan or Detroit in the air community? Like in the last, it's like I can't even count him on one hand. It's like it's almost zero. He's got to be more visible in key states. And remember this: people still think that Biden's not going to run. Okay, so they're not fixing on what. Then right now they think they have multiple choices. There's only two. Once they're down to two choices, these numbers are going to change. 14% undecided with two well-known candidates. That
Right.
tells me the fact basically 2/3 of the undecided vote is going to break for Biden if it was election today. So you add 10% to that 41%, and Biden wins with 51%.
Do you have any questions whether he'll run? Are you convinced that he's
At the present time, I've not seen any indication. This is not LBJ. For those who are, I don't know, old enough. Those of
right?
us who understand when LBJ jumped out of the race. The bottom line, one sign is going to be hard for him to drop out. Why is he raising so much? Why is Biden raising so much money, outpacing raising money, more money than Democrats have ever raised in congressional wise or Senate wise or as a presidential candidate? So
Mhm.
the real people backing candidates are giving Biden money. The hardcore, for example, why is Biden winning in New York congressional races? Look at all the races that they're winning across the country in special typically Democrats lose special elections.
Mhm.
Across the United States, Democrats are winning in seats, the congressional seats that Biden won before. Does he have problems? Yes. Does he have to solve them? He's going to have to speak more forcibly to the young people directly, face to face, because the TV won't do it. He's got to tell them what he's going to do the next 4 years, talk about his past, but quit talking about the age. Because that's getting old, Alan.
Yeah.
Talking about age is getting old, Alan. Okay, make yourself.
But is it when you say it's getting old, is it effective in diminishing his chances when people
That's
keep
what
harping on
Republicans.
that?
That's why Republicans keeps feeding it. Because
Yeah.
remember, they don't let anybody. They slap around Fox News if they talk about Trump's age or talk about how he can't speak. They know if they use it on Trump, it's going to hurt Trump because he has more gaffes on television than. Remember, Trump's still running against, Barack Obama.
Yeah. And
Okay.
and all the criminal cases, all his court cases, I mean, he sucks up a lot of air on TV, but he gets ratings. People want to read about him.
But
Is
right, so,
that
right. But we got to remember, right now, the only person on TV is Trump, not Biden. Okay, I win campaigns when I can outspend my opponent normally. Okay,
Mhm.
right now Trump's 2-1 on news coverage or imagery compared to Biden.
Mhm.
They got to start leveling the pay field about basically the Lincoln Society, the Gleason Group. They got tons of ads out there. If they would spend money and using some of those, they're very effective. But remember this: Biden's out raising Trump. Congress and the Senate Republican out raising Trump. They've won all those special elections, and all the issues are there. The Republicans gave up their border issue. They're now pushing. They're still going back to the abortion issue. Everything issues that Democrats have been winning on for the last 4 years, they're still doing it. So Biden, get off the ground, get out there, show how you can bike yourself around the place, show that you got some strength, and quit talking about age because it's getting old.
And what about the surrogates here as you talk about? I mean, we got Whitmer, who's ahead of the campaign here, I believe. You've got Whitmer, you've got Duggan.
But they're silent. They're silent.
And why is that are they not being asked to? Like we had on our other show on Detroit in Black and White, we had Warren Evans on, and he said nobody's come to me and asked me anything. He says I expect in the last month or so they'll come to me. Is the Biden? I mean, he comes from a political background where he knows how to run a campaign. Are they just not? Are things not operational? It feels like.
Well, the bottom line of fact is that everybody's waiting to what they're going to get out of it. They're not committed to helping Biden win. Okay. If Warren Evans and Mike Duggan, Whitmer really, really wanted Biden to win, they'd be out there doing it right now. They're not. Okay. They're part of the problem. If Warren Evans really wants Biden, why isn't he doing more?
And the election is not that far off. I mean, it's little more than 8 months off.
Well, I will tell you this: a significant part of the vote will be done on their decision to vote by the end of June. By the end of June, more than half of the people will be committed to how they're going to vote. And the other thing that Democrats have to start focusing on right now, and I went back to 4 years ago, 70% of Democrats voted absentee ballot. Means by September 22nd, the race is over for Democrats. Republicans, only 47% will have voted by September 2nd. So the Democrats got to get off their butts. Why is Warren Evans waiting?
He says nobody's come to him. And
I thought he was a Democrat. Why do I have to be told what to do? Is he kid? Get out of bed in the morning at school time?
Yeah, okay. What about Duggan? I mean, Duggan's talked about running for governor. Do you expect that will happen, or?
Well, he's talking about, but if Duggan really cared about Biden winning, why isn't he doing something? Gretchen's worried about why aren't they doing something? Yes, Warren won't spend his own money, but he can go around doing speeches and talks about it. If Whitmer really they haven't really shown, well, why do I have to ask you to run? Help me out. Don't you want Biden to win? Why do you got to be asked? Are you waiting for the money? You want a payoff for something like that? Some commitment? How much more money does Biden have to give to Michigan that you got to wait for them to give you another handout? That is stupid.
So do you feel that are they being remiss in their duties?
Yes, they are being remiss. They are being remiss. Yeah. Haley Stevens not even campaigning in Wayne County, where she's not even visible, and she's supposed to be on the ticket. Right now, if Lisa Slotkin loses, is because she's not doing anything now. She's going to be dependent on Biden to win. So why is she sitting on her butt? They're not doing anything.
What do you make of that race? With the Senate race, where do you see that?
I would assume today that unless something changes, Lisa Slotkin will win the Democratic race. The money's been cut off to every other candidate. Okay, if for example, if the Arab community gets beyond Method and gives him tons of money, which they have the ability, that could change the dynamics. On the Republican side, right now, Mike Rogers is probably getting the most attention. There's another woman candidate that has millions of dollars to spend. But her consultants are doing the silent game, so that could race his pick up. But if the people with the money don't get off their duff, Mike Rogers would probably be the choice. But on the Democratic side, right now, it's at least unless something happens, change on the contributions of Hill Harper and Nasser Baydoun. But on the Republican side, whatever. But the point being is Gary Peters depended on Joe Biden to win when he ran the last election. Okay. So the bottom line is the fact that Democrats got to get it off their butts. If Biden's not carrying the water now, then get active. I mean, it's like, I don't see any activity. We got to remember when Bernie Sanders ran, back in 2016, was he waiting for the locals to do anything?
Right.
Okay. Well, the locals, what are you doing to help out Biden? You say you want him, but what are you doing?
Right. Right.
You
And
know, there's
and
no-
and Biden is just not you're just not really seeing him campaign really much of anywhere. I
well,
mean, you're
he
seeing
is,
a
he is, but it's only on C-SPAN.
yeah,
If you, the point being the fact, you and I want to know, unless you're really nerds, you're not watching C-SPAN.
right, right.
So the national media is not covering Biden.
And
Okay.
you say that he is traveling
Yes,
around or
around. Yes, he is.
but nobody's covering it.
No
Why
one's
why?
covering.
You think it's just boring or it just
No, because
really
the only person making news is Trump.
yeah.
Okay.
Eh,
The one thing I remember, and people remember when I was competing for your attention, Alan, basically the media says, I'm not going to do your work. You have to pay for your own ads. I'm not going to give you ads. So right now, the person making news is Trump. So that's why the media is giving the attention. Biden's got to make news. The first making news, the fact he's kicking butt. He's all over the state, visibly taking on and being more aggressive. The other thing that Biden has to do, he's got to come to Michigan and talk to the people under 34 years of age. He's got to talk to the Black community personally because his lieutenants are not doing it.
And do you see is it going to be wise for him or does he have no choice in terms of the debates or is Trump I assume Trump is going to want to debate him.
Oh,
What do you
I don't think that our good friend Trump wants to debate anybody.
no, he did horrible last time. I mean, I think that hurt him is debating, but he's very aggressive. Should if invited, is that a good idea? I
Yes,
mean,
Biden is very strong in debates. Okay, he's not a loquacious speaker, but he's good on the stump.
he's
He
known
got
for, hey, will you shut up, man? That was
bottom
just
line, the fact you need to. I was taught as a young child when you're dealing. My dad was union. A lot of union people. Every union person I ever talked to hit me over the head with a 2x4. Then let's get serious. So the bottom,
right.
Trump's got to start. Making punches, verbal punches. Obviously, we're not physical punches, but start taking them on. Get mad. It's like the Hulk. The Hulk until he got mad, he didn't get strong.
Uh-huh.
So
Right.
Joe Biden become the Hulk.
Okay.
Get
Now
mad.
Trump was just here on Saturday over in Waterford, and got a crowd over there and
Yeah,
was
but it was still that's less than he was hoping. He still got some booing. Okay. The bottom line is right, but the point being is, if he comes back, he'll just be more boxes of sneakers for us to buy.
Those sneakers look interesting.
And do you understand he's being sued on them now because he took the patent on the red soles? That was
Oh,
not his.
really?
Yes.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked he would do something like that.
I'm not shocked. And also the Gene Carroll's also looking at suing him because some recent comments he's made. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bottom line is the only person making news is Donald Trump.
Right.
Biden has to make news. And one thing to make news is that he's got to get mad on the stump. He's got to get mad. When he gets mad, he wins. People love it. Because, for example, when he gets mad, they don't care that he stutters because he has a natural stutter. When people get mad and they stutter, they see that and they see the fire in his blood. They'll come back to him because what does that show? I may be old, but I'm not weak.
Yeah. And so again, just to get back to the very beginning, the polls right now,
It's tied.
it's tied. And any reason for people will be like, oh my God, look, he can't beat Trump. Reason to worry?
Yes, it is. It's worrying because the fact it's a self-fulfilling prophecy because they're going to sit on their worries versus do something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, remember, I was taught to act, not react. Right now, Democrats are reacting, not doing something about it. It's like Grant. If Grant reacted every time he was stuck in the mud, he would have never won the Civil War. Okay. He says, we're stuck in the mud, so let's get out of the mud.
Right. Well, okay. Well, Ed, I appreciate you as always. Your insights are always great here, and we'll be talking obviously more, and we'll hope to get you on the week that was as well, talking about the race as we get closer and closer. Yes. And we're getting it. It's only 8 months. It's like, holy cow.
Oh, my goodness. But remember, we're going to have some very interesting primaries. Macomb County is going to be back at us.
Yeah.
You got Comer Linga with potentially Comer, who has a ton of money. That's going to be a very competitive race. you're going to have prosecuting race in Macomb County could heat up with Pete Lucido and Christina Hines because of the fact that Soros gets involved like he did last time around. So we have a lot of competitive local races to talk about.
And with the House, what do you overall, the House and the Senate?
Well, there's no state Senate races up this year.
Okay, but not here in Michigan, but I mean in Washington, where do you see the House and the Senate?
Well, the Democrats have more to defend than the Republicans, but there are a lot more. The Republicans talk about retiring. When Ted Cruz is now concerned about his reelection bid, that tells you what's going on. Right. In the U.S. Congress, something's happening right now. Despite what we hear at the Supreme Court, they're starting to win these packing races on racial gerrymandering. Sure. So there's a possibility that because of that, and all the special elections now in these Republican-won congressional races that Biden won are starting to flip Democratic because they're leaving. You got to remember, you got 4 Republican GOP chairs leaving because of the fact they can't stand working in Congress. Right. So the Democrats have a legitimate shot of maybe taking back the House. The Senate's going to be close unless issues break. But the Democrats now have all the issues on their side because Republicans are not backing the border anymore. They're willing to watch Putin, kill more people in Ukraine. They're not funding Israel. And remember, you've been around a long time. Everybody's claiming that they own the Jewish vote, right? Isn't that true? Both sides. So the point being, right now, who can walk over to Israel right now and get more support other than Joe Biden? It's Joe Biden, not Donald Trump. Right. And then, so I think this could be a very close race in the end. Can Trump possibly win it? Yes, I'm not saying that. But the bottom line is right now the poll shows that neither person's winning. Trump might be ahead, but doesn't mean that he's winning.
Okay. Well, Ed, thanks so much. Always great talking to you. All right.
Thank you so much.